Bridget and Dawn.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. We glad to have y'all back. Hopefully, y'all glad to have us back. Stay through to the whole show. I promise you will enjoy the whole damn thing. What's up, Brid? You good?
What's up? Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I see you've been working hard. I've been catching the videos of the shop. You've been you've been working hard.
I've been trying. I've been trying.
Got to get that paper.
Right.
Got to get that paper.
Right.
So we got a couple of interesting topics tonight. So I'm gonna start off about men who don't like the woman that they're with, talk about her, cheat on her, but still stay with her. Like, why do you think that is? Like, what? I know why I think it is. But I'm gonna let you go first from a woman's perspective. Because I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh yeah. Well, first I know because everybody say I love this word, but a narcissist automatically.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some men are narcissists, so they just love to control security. You know, some men really would fall if they didn't have that strong woman. So they might not like her, they might not be attracted to her, whatever, but they like that stability. I might get some backlash for this, but DL, I feel like it's a lot of men that are on the DL and they are to cover up what they, really want in life.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think it's, to me, I'm not gonna say like, because if you're fed up with someone and you always like clashing with them and arguing, of course you can be like, man, I can't stand this bitch, But if it's nothing wrong, you're just like irritated at her, like as a whole, like yes, it's a little questionable. Like, do you like men? Which is not, it's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's a lot of men out here that are scared to live in their truth, and so they're using women as cover-ups.
I definitely agree with that. There are a lot of guys who are afraid of how they'll be perceived if they were to just come the fuck out the damn closet. Right. Just get the fuck out there. Right. And the crazy thing is, most of them won't be perceived any differently than they are today.
Right.
Like, because in this society, like in today's society, that's not even looked at wrong. Like,
right.
That's who you are.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I looked at it as complacency. Like a couple of things you said. They don't want they can't be with nobody else who's going to take care of them the way that woman's taking care of them. Mm-hmm. Niche said worry somebody else will get her. True.
Yeah.
That's a big concern when you worry that somebody else is going to reap the benefits and you're not getting it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of guys are living off of women. Like they just are. Like they are living in a house with a woman. The woman's taking care of the bills. Even though he contributes to the bills, he's really living off of her. Like she's basically funding everything, and he is reaping the benefits. So he's like, I don't want to deal with not having that. Mm-hmm. But I don't really like her. So I'm gonna talk about it, which I don't understand any dude that talks bad about your woman. Like, I don't get that shit.
But I mean, Don, like, be real. You're a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never heard men around you talking shit about they girls? Like they
Hell
can't. Yeah. Like I think that's a little weird. Like I said, I can say like y'all beefing and like y'all arguing and stuff like that, but to just be like, she has no idea that you feel this type of way towards her, like no clue at all, and you just like talking shit about her, and cheating on her and all this other stuff?
So I think that comes from trying to discourage other men from trying to get with her.
You think so?
Yeah, because every guy, I don't care how many guys you talk to. Yes, they may not want to be with a woman, but they still know it's a good woman, and I don't want to see her go with one of my boys.
True.
Because men don't have that same code. They done. Can I start? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the same code. So, and it's to kind of discourage other guys. And I've had dudes do that to me, where they would talk bad about a woman that they've been dealing with or that they dealt with, just to try to discourage me from talking to her. My thing is just tell me, yo, don't talk to her after I finish talking to her. Like I'd be hurt. I'll accept it. Men can't say that.
I think men, they probably don't want to come off as insecure.
Yeah. Men don't want to be that guy. Oh, you can't talk to her. I used to be with her.
Yeah.
Like, because the outcome might be different for somebody else. So, and I had one of my boys do that. He didn't do it to me. After I broke up with a chick, he hit me up and he was like, yo, you done with her? I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm done. And he was like, do you mind? And I was like, that's like on you.
That's crazy.
But their outcome was different.
Really?
The person that she was with me was not the person she was with him. And it worked out for a while. I mean, they parted on, I guess, amicable ways. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, they just decided to part. But while they were together, I was like, yo, it works for y'all. I'm good. Like it didn't work for us. It works for y'all. It was kind of weird being around them too at first. Like I'm in the same room with y'all. I'm here. Y'all know I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can y'all give yourselves a little space? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm still here. But after a while, I just got used to it. Like it worked for y'all. Because with me, we were oil and water. We would be at each other's throats. We would be arguing. Every little thing would set us off. So
was she a situation where you was in a relationship with her and like you couldn't stand her, but you was like waiting to break it off? Or have you ever been in a relationship where you like mentally like, yo, I can't stand this bitch, but I'm trying to wait for the right moment, the right time?
So it was with her, it was more so I wanted to tap out on the relationship, but I didn't want to hurt her. Like at the end of the day, she was still a good person. She was still cool people. So I didn't want to hurt her to just be like, yo, we done. I don't fuck with you no more. But I realized way too late into the damn relationship, I'm hurting me and I'm hurting her by staying around for the situation. So I was just like, you know what? I think it's best if we part ways.
Yeah.
And she gave me a whole lot of I ain't want to fucking be with your ass anyway type shit. And I was like, yo, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving you the out. So, but yeah, I've stayed in relationships definitely longer than I should have. As a matter of fact, I was in a relationship and I didn't want to break up with her and hurt her. So I lied and said I cheated so she would break up with me. Because I was like, yo.
So that's what men be doing. Like they'll purposely do shit so a woman can break up with them.
But we don't actually do it. We just say we did it. Well, some dudes actually do it, like, and they do it in a hurtful way. I think it's easier to just say we shouldn't be together anymore. But some guys will intentionally hurt a woman because they know that everything else, up and including cheating, they'll stay with them. So they'll go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, they'll cheat and be like, she gonna leave me. I cheated on this girl and she would not leave me. I was like, that was the intent. Like, that was my intentions. But she wouldn't leave me. She was like, "No, we can work through this," and I was like, "No, we can't. You shouldn't even want to work through this with me." Just,
You must have loved you.
She was just like, "Nah, we can work through this." And I was like, "No. If I did that to you, then you shouldn't want to be with me." Type shit. It was,
Yeah.
but a lot of women are accepting things from men that they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really are, because, and I hear this a lot. All the good men are taken. No, that's probably not the case, but okay, let's lean on all the good men are taken. You gonna stay with a bad man just to say I don't want to have to go try to look for a good man? Like, I don't understand the correlation.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. To me, well, I think it's that, and I think some women think they can fix men, or change
Oh,
them.
hell yeah.
Which is like, I mean, I do feel like I mean, it's kind of like a fact. Men do mature like way slower than women. But I feel like at a certain age, you're pretty much who you are. Not saying that you can't, grow. But yeah, I think some women think like, oh, maybe I can help him. I don't know, because I feel like even sometimes when men have bad ways, I feel like sometimes a good woman can influence him to change his bad ways. In a sense, I ain't talking about cheating and stuff. I'm talking about like maybe.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, because if you a cheater, you just a cheater. No, I'm not talking about cheating. But just like I don't know, certain things I feel like a woman can help elevate a man. Not everything, of course. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like, yeah, for the most part, a man is who he is, and some women don't know how to be alone. You know, um, and they don't want to be alone, but not
That's it.
realizing that it's like way more peaceful being alone than being with someone who don't treat you right. Um, yeah. So I don't know.
Like a lot of women have the Mrs. Fix It mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain things that you can fix.
Yeah.
So ladies, I'm definitely serious. There are certain things about a man you can fix. You can help him with his earning potential. He may not know what he has in him, and somebody just has to bring it out. That's fixable. But if your man is lazy, he gonna be lazy no matter what. If you leave for work and he's playing the game, and you come home from work and he's playing the game, he ain't got no job, that's pretty much who he's gonna be, right, until he decides otherwise. Of course, cheating. I've had women tell me, "Oh, you'd never cheat on me," and I was like, "Should I prove it? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, why say something like that to me?" But it took me to grow up and not cheat.
Yeah.
It wasn't like oh my God, like I met the greatest woman in the world and I'll just never cheat on her. It was like, I just grew up. Yeah. And like you said, some things, once you get to a certain age, you're pretty much set in those ways. But there's certain things that you just grow up and you just realize what the hell's the sense, honestly. And I joke around with a lot of my boys, and I'm like, yo, like you can go out there and find 50 different women. They're all gonna have the same body parts. It's not gonna change. Mm-hmm. If there's not a different personality behind those body parts, then you're wasting your time. It's a cycle. You're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. Women are just body-wise. I mean, yes, some are slimmer, some are thicker, all that good stuff. Find your lane and stay in it. Like, there's women I see, and I'm like, yo, she's beautiful, but I wouldn't want to be with her. Well, no, not she's beautiful. She's sexy, but I wouldn't want to be with her. You know what I'm saying? Because beautiful is a different trait. That's a personality trait.
Yeah.
But there's sexy women all over the place. But I don't want the headache of everything that comes along with the other things about her. The personality traits that comes along with her. But there's beautiful, sexy women out there. Once a guy finds that, stay there.
Yeah.
Don't look further. She's not there. Like, you're not going to find the goddess of women. And if you do, she won't want to be with your broke ass. Like, you're not going to find the end all be all to women. No saying, like, and that's what a lot of guys are doing. They are constantly looking for someone better than what they have.
They probably not going to find.
Never going to find. Because I am 51 years old.
I feel like if it's like the perfect image of a person, it's gonna lack the personality or it's gonna lack the ambition. Like, no one is perfect, you know. So I feel like, you know, you gotta
like
pick your battles.
Yeah. Like, I have dealt with more women than I should probably ever count. And I kept looking for better. Oh, I got this, but if I got this, then what else can I get? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I got lucky enough to where at my age, I found someone still out there who's available, who's a good woman. Like, because you'll find some good women. They're already married. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what you gonna do? Break up a household?
Yeah.
For your happiness? So, like, it's hard. It's hard. But women have to look at so many different aspects when they get with a man. So they gotta look at, okay, is he honest with me? You know what I'm saying? He may be a liar to everybody else, but is he at least honest with me? Is he not a cheater? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women they'll see one or two aspects and they'll turn the blind eye to everything else. And they'll go, you know what? I didn't see that. So he must be okay for me because I didn't see any other things. But you have to really, you have to look at the total person and say, yes, there's things that's wrong with them. There's some imperfections. Can I deal with those imperfections though?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because men look at exterior imperfections and they go, I can't deal. And it's not even that they can't deal with it. They can't deal with their boys seeing them with it. Like, yo, she got son. Like, okay, she see me, nigga. I'm saying she sees me. But women are looking for interior perfections, and they'll pick one or two, and they'll go, you know what? Fuck it. I got 2 out of 10. I'll take it.
Yeah. So do you feel like men care more about what other people think about the woman that they choose? Or do you think like women do the same?
I think a lot of men care more about what people think is on his arm. So if she has all of the exterior perfections and all his boys are going, damn, son, you got that. They care more about that. Women care more about how a man treats her around her friends and family.
Yeah.
Not so much how he treats her, but how he treats her around them. So when I learned fucking probably in my early 30s, if I meet a woman, I need to make sure her friends and her family think I'm the greatest thing. Not her. I need them
Yeah.
to think I'm the greatest thing.
See, like with me, like I'm very family oriented, so like my family is everything to me. So, and especially like my mom, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a privilege to meet my mother. So don't nobody get to meet her unless I feel like you're worthy of meeting my. I'm serious. So it's like if I was to date someone right now and you didn't treat me right, you're never gonna meet my mother. Like, cause to me that's a privilege. You know,
Mm.
like that's the person, one of the people I love the most in this world, you know. And the thing about a mother though is like, cause if I see it, your mother, whether you're trying to put on a good impression, she's gonna see it too. And the thing about it is with mothers, and especially with their daughters or even their sons, is like once they see that true character in you, that you not a good person for their child, they never
Mm-hmm.
gonna fuck with you, you know?
Right.
So the last thing I would want is to put on the front and be like, oh mom, meet this person, like, you know, and then over time she see he ain't shit. And if I still continue to deal with him, you know, anytime he come around, my mother, she probably won't even speak to you, you
Yeah,
know.
straight
My
side
mom's
eye.
not, yeah, my mom, like she's mature, you know, but it's just like when she knows someone really ain't shit, she like
Mm-hmm.
get the fuck away from my daughter. Like, you know, she
Right.
said about us. So um yeah, I like, to me, I don't know, someone wouldn't even, I don't, that's one thing I wouldn't let no one get close to my mother if I ain't feel like you was treating me right, you know.
See, I've always, even when I was at my worst in life, I
Mm,
always presented well. So I would always get the invite to meet somebody's parents, and now the mothers would love me because I presented well.
yeah.
The fathers would be like, "Fuck this nigga up to," you know what I'm saying? Like something
Yeah,
wrong. Because the fathers probably used to be me back in the days.
for sure.
Um, but I presented well, and women would be like, "Oh, this is my friend such and such," and da 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 da, and I'm like, cool." Um, but and I never treated a woman horrible. Let me think. Not that I can remember. I never really treated a woman horribly. Never abused a woman, anything like that. That was my bag. But yeah, I was in some aspects I was a dirtbag. Like I'm saying, I was eating every fucking moment I got. But I presented well. Like they could take me around their friends and family, take me to the family dinners, and now when we leave, she might argue because she done seen a picture in my phone or something, or you know what I'm saying? Like that's something different.
Yeah.
But I always presented well. And women look for that. Women look for a man who, okay, so even if you don't have all 10 of my points, if you present to my friends like those 10 points are there, I guess you good. Now when we get behind closed doors, I know it's only 2 out of 10, but
See, I can't put on no facade. Like I feel like I'd rather like no one know that I talk to you. Like if you wasn't being like 100% about me, because to me that's like I'm just like real, like realistic, like, you know. And I'm like, I'm not about to put on a facade like I'm happy when I'm not, you know.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people do that, and I feel like it's a way of like trying to convince yourself and others, like, you know, that you're happy when you're really not. You know, I think people should really just live in their truth, you know. And if somebody's
Yep.
not for you, don't put on this facade like you happy when you not, and don't sit here and feel like you gotta prove to your friends and your parents, like, you know, that this is somebody for you when it's not, you know.
Yeah, I dealt with a woman who I think her goal was to change me, like from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if you want to change me, then why be with me? Find the person who matches the image that you want me to be.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be who you try to create. I'll never be that person.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted me to dress a certain way and be around. Like, when I went around her family, she was like, "Oh, I think you should put on this and this." And I'm like, "Well, put on what the hell I was gonna put on, whether I'm around them or not."
Right.
Like, I'm just not gonna be fake. But like, she really, really, her focus was, I'm gonna change you. I'm gonna make you better somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, better for who?
Yeah. I think that you do have some women that are like that, who is like, but I feel like you got some men that is like how you like either accept me for who I am or go find who you look for, you know.
Right.
But I feel like there are some women, because I've seen women do it to men that they deal with, and there are some men that it's like they do it. You know, if a woman be like, "Oh, you need to wear this type of shirt, this pants, this, that, and the third," they
Mm-hmm.
wear it. You know, I mean, I don't know, because I never tried to change someone, especially like their appearance. Like, it's either I like you for how you are or I don't. Like, you know,
Right.
I'm not about to try to build a man, like, you know. But I mean, I guess you got some. I don't know how women do it, but you do have women that do it though, because I've seen women do it, and I've seen some men that be like they go with it. You know, they go from wearing like, you know, streetwear to like wearing really preppy clothes, like, you know. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't
I
know.
watched a dude who got with a white girl, and like, before they got together, like, you would walk into his house and it would be like Black Power pictures and stuff like that, and he would dress like he was ready for war type thing.
Yeah.
He got with her, the pictures came off the wall. He changed how he dressed, and I'm like, you're not you anymore. Like, you're somebody else now, and that can only last but for so long. You can't fake who you are, but for so long.
So, do you believe that, like, in his situation, that's very understandable, because it's like you really changing who you are, like, at the core, you know? But do you believe that, like, in a relationship, your partner can help elevate you, like, in a good way, not trying to like change you who you are, like, you know, like, oh, I don't like the way you do this, that, and the third, but just trying to like help you become your best self?
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Jay wasn't who he was before he got with B. Um, he was successful, but he was still successful in a certain lane.
Right.
She exposed him to a different lane, and he went from being semi-successful to super successful. So it can happen.
Yeah.
And guys should listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And but I still feel at the same time, it's like, you know, he still stayed true to himself though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel like even like, you know, Jay-Z went from that little scruffy look, like, you know, the look he got now, and it's like he's married to Beyonce and she still loves him regardless, you know, which, you know, some women will probably be like, you need to cut your fucking hair off. Like, you're not about to walk around with me looking like that. You know, she still loves him despite of that. Like, you know, and just allow him to be himself. But in a sense, they're still helping each other elevate, you know. So I don't know. I do believe that you can help, you know, your partner elevate, or y'all both become your best selves with, but still allowing them to be who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you can't sit here and like especially an image. That's like if I was to meet a man and he like, look, you know, you look good, this and the third, but you need to get a BBL and then you'll be fine. Like,
Right.
that's crazy. Like, you know, because it's like, what? Like, okay. You know, but I could take, if I met a man and they're like, oh, we were getting this gym and we gonna do this together to be healthy, like, I could accept that. Like, you know, but for you to
Mm-hmm.
tell me I could have a certain body type is crazy, you know. But I feel like That's how, some women are with men, like thinking like, I'm gonna change his whole image and you gotta look like this, when in reality, if you want someone to dress a certain type of way, then you should just find someone who dresses a certain type of way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't. For a very long time, I was Timberlands all day long.
Yeah.
Um, and even when I used to go to work, I would wear a sweater, some jeans, and some Timberlands. I didn't look like a thug, but I wasn't putting on dress shoes every day.
Yeah.
And then when I tried to be accepted by a certain group, and I started wearing that, eventually I just came to the realization I'm not being true to me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like I'm not me anymore, and I don't
Right.
even like who I'm becoming.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that. I feel that too. Like I feel like I'm trying. I always try to better myself, better my looks, whatever it is. But I can say certain things that I have done in my life, I don't feel like I was staying true to myself. Like, one, for instance, like all the tattoos that I have, which I told one of my friends that, if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have any tattoos. And she was like, "You're crazy," because like I love your tattoos, and I'm like, "Thank you," but I don't feel like that was really me being me. I feel like that was me. I don't know. I feel like it was me, like, seeing what other people had and like, oh, I want that. Like, am I mad at it?
Mm.
No, because I feel like ultimately, like, my tattoos, my piercings and stuff, I feel like it goes with my look. I feel like, yeah, I can get away with it. But at the same time, it's like part of me wish I would have listened to my mom and just had like a very clean look, like, um because it's like, no, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but I mean certain things you can possibly limited based on, like, the things, the tattoos and stuff that you have, even like my piercing, like I go back and forth, like I do it like every year. Like I go in my store, I be like, y'all think I should take my piercing out, my lip piercing specifically, and people like, no, 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 go with you. And then you got some people like, yeah, like, but I also know, like, I'm getting older, and I don't wanna, I wanna make sure as I'm getting older, I'm looking my age. I'm not looking like, oh, I'm trying to keep up with, you know, girls that's 18 years old, um but I don't know. I feel like, I feel like I have done certain things, especially with the piercings and the tattoos, that I feel like, I'm not gonna say it wasn't me. I decided to get some, but I feel like the whole sleeve shit, like, yeah, that was, I don't know. I don't know.
So let me ask you this, because this is actually going to be one of my topics. Do you think that we sabotage ourselves by trying to fit in where we don't belong?
I think, I think, yeah, I think we do sometimes. Like, I mean, like I think with me, I think it was somewhat of like projection. Like, like when like I was younger and I was dealing with somebody and I see you dealing with certain type of girls. So I'm like,
Mm.
I think the only thing I didn't do was go get a BBL, because I think that was one thing that my mother always told me, like, love your body, love yourself, don't be doing plastic surgery like that. Um and I always wanted to like work hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be like, oh, I just took the easy way out. I always wanted to work hard. So I think the one thing I didn't do was the BBL. Like, but outside of that, like the tattoos and stuff, I feel like it was a little bit of comparison. Like, oh, you like women, oh, men like women with tattoos and this, that, and the third. So you feel like you have to become what they like, you know? Um,
Mm.
in a sense, I feel like I'm who I am at my core, because, like I said before, I feel like I strayed away from who I really was. But I feel like as I'm getting older, as a woman, I'm like going back to who I am. Like, um And that wasn't, I don't know. I can't really speak on everything, but I don't feel like I was like living a very honest lifestyle that I should have been, like who I really am, like, and it was more like comparison and, what you see around you and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, I do think people do sabotage themselves, based on
Yeah.
what you see out here, and I think that's why I be pressing my nieces and nephews, like, I don't care if you see your friends doing this, like, be a leader, like, and I don't know.
I agree with you. Because when I was younger, I dealt with a young lady. I was super young, but she wanted a thug. Like she wanted, and I was a square. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a thug. Like I was in the books.
Yeah.
And I changed who I was. And I didn't just change the appearance of who I was. I became what she wanted. And today she's married to like the most square dude, like like
Yeah.
the most preppy dude. And I'm like, wait, I was that. Like you told me no, because I wasn't a thug and I became a
Yeah.
thug and now you married to a square. And I'm like, wow.
That's the hell up, Donnie.
Wow.
But
Like, so yeah, and I feel like I sabotaged my entire, not sabotage my life, because I still turned out pretty decent. But what could have happened? Oh, yeah, I could have sabotaged my entire life
yeah.
based on what I thought somebody wanted me to be.
Yeah, I think like especially when you young, like me, I never been attracted to like a thug, like um, I always like nice guys and someone that treat me right. But like when I was younger, the person that I was dating, they started to change into that person, and I think that's what it's like influence. So I think even
Mm,
at certain ages, it's like influence, like it's not necessarily that you want to become something. It's like you're being influenced by what your surroundings. You know,
yeah.
um, I don't know because I never wanted no thug. It's just like I dealt with someone that became that, and then it was like I had to adjust, like and it was like his life was my life.
Mm.
And then as I got older, or as I'm getting older, like in my 20s, I'm just like, despite him being a thug, I still had to be a civilian. I was still, you know, so and then I'm going to work and I'm seeing like black men with real good jobs, and I'm just like, no, this is what a good man is. Like this is what a man is. And then I think that's when the whole shift took, where I was just like, no, like I want a good guy who works an honest job, like, like not living no crazy
Mhm.
lifestyle, nothing like that. Um, yeah, but yeah, I think that's why like people gotta talk to their kids at young ages, because you can get influenced, like you
Yeah.
can raised to go to church, but then you start getting around people and it's like, oh, they smoking weed, so I'm starting to smoke weed and I'm starting to do this and steal and rob or whatever the case may be. Well, at heart, that's not who you was raised to be, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think influence is has a lot to do with that.
In a major way. In a
Yeah.
major way. But we go. But let's get into your topic. But yeah, we might circle back to this one because
Okay.
that's huge.
Yeah.
How we allow society or friends or people that we around to
Hmm.
influence who we are and become something different. So, but let's talk about yours real quick.
Okay, so I kind of got like two topics, but one of them is, why is verbal abuse just as bad as physical abuse? Because I
So
think,
I think
like, sorry, not to cut you off, but
no,
I
go ahead.
think
Go ahead.
sometimes people are in relationships where it's not physically abusive and
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand that they're still in an abusive relationship because it's either mental abuse or like verbal abuse. Um, And I think sometimes, especially with the manipulation thing, it's like people don't really understand, like, oh, I'm in an abusive relationship. Um, But and another thing before I let you talk is that some people don't understand why some people who are victims of verbal abusive relationships, how they can't get out of that cycle. So can you explain why it's just as harmful as a physically abusive relationship?
So I think it's more harmful than a physically abusive relationship. Um, so physical abuse, wounds heal. I mean, unless you beat somebody to death, wounds heal.
Mm-hmm.
Verbal abuse starts to affect somebody at their core. Um, and they start to not believe that they are who they actually are.
Yeah.
Um, I know a young lady who her boyfriend, which I never understood why they were together, like he'd be like, "Oh, you fat," and you know what I'm saying, "You just disgusting," and I bought you a treadmill, you ain't never gonna get on it. It's just gonna collect dust. And I'm like, why are you with him?
Mm-hmm.
But after so much of hearing that,
Mm-hmm.
she never believed that she was anything more than what he said.
Right.
So if I'd be like, yo, like you really attractive, like, and she'd be like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Despite what he says,
Mm-hmm.
you really are. And she was like, no, I'm not. I'm fat.
Yeah.
So when you start to change someone's perception of themselves, um, that's why having a strong self-esteem is important. Because I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody tells you. Um, 50 motherfuckers could walk past you, Bridget, and be like, yo, you ugly as fuck. And you'd be like, nah, I'm good. like,
Right.
like, but if you don't believe, if you have no identity for yourself, the first person that comes along and creates your identity, that's who you'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when people are in like verbal abusive relationships, I feel like they do, they lose their self-esteem, same thing like you said, like they'll start, the abuser will start saying things to you and you start to believe it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Um, and you'll believe it so much that no one can change your mind back.
Right, yeah,
Like you can find the nicest guy that treats you the best in the world, and the only thing you keep thinking is, I'm not good enough.
yeah.
And you'll keep destroying relationship after relationship because that's what you've been told by
Hmm.
the one person you believed.
Right, yeah. And then a lot of times when you're in like a verbally abusive or mentally abusive relationship, the abuser is really projecting how they feel about themselves onto that person, you know.
Yeah,
So they want
yeah.
to feel insecure, feel like you're not worthy enough, really because deep down inside that's how they feel themselves, you know. But I think I so I really don't want to speak too much of myself, but in the past I was in a relationship, it was physically abusive at times and it was definitely verbal and mentally abusive.
Mm.
And another reason why it's I feel like it can be just as harmful as physical because it was just the gaslighting and the shift blaming, and it's like eventually you start losing your mind. um
Hmm.
Literally crying so much, like I used to cry so much that I would wake up and my eyes was like bulging out my face, like they were so swollen, from just crying. And my mom used to be like, Bridget, you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna give yourself a brain aneurysm, because it was always the case.
Wow.
Somebody I know right now is in a relationship, and I don't want to say, oh, but I feel like it's verbally abused, same type of thing, and she was explaining to me one day she cried so much that it bust her blood vessel in her eye, so
Damn.
um I think people really sleep on what someone can do when they try to fuck up your mental.
Yeah.
um because it can start attacking your body. Like, yeah, they might not have hit your body physically, you know, but it's like you can really kill yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? From stress and from, you know, crying and to the point where, you know, it's just as much as if they hit you, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and I think sometimes people judge too, you know, whether it's physical or verbal. But I think people are judged because they be like, well, if he talking to you like this, then why don't you just leave him? But it's like people don't understand, like, when people mentally manipulate you, just like you said, they now have programmed your mind to make you think that you can't get any better. So
Yep.
regardless if you low-key know this person ain't shit, everybody around you telling you this person ain't shit, you believe that you ain't shit and that this is the best that I'm gonna get, you know.
Yep.
So
And that's why a lot of women stay in relationships that they probably should have checked out years ago, because they feel like, I can't get better than this. Like, no matter what I get after this, it has to be worse.
yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's really from them making you feel like you're not worthy enough, you're not nothing, you know. But I think, you know, I feel like anybody who is in a verbal abusive relationship, I think they really have to understand that it's really the abuser that ain't shit. It's not you, regardless
Right.
of you. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but it's like I don't know. Like, good people not gonna sit there and go and try to tear someone down, make them feel unworthy, you know. And really, I feel like the abuser just be projecting, you know. Um,
Yeah,
just 'cause-
it typically is. They don't think too much of themselves, and they feel like, if you're with me, then you can't be shit because I ain't shit.
right, right.
So now they got to convince you that you're worse than they are, so that they feel bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't think people should downplay verbal abuse and mental abuse, like, just because they're not physically getting hit, you know. Um. Because, you know, like, you know, all the things that go on in the world, like, it's like people commit suicide, people fall into using drugs, like, you know, people's mental is, you know, they could go off the edge, you know, with their mental. And it's like, if someone is just verbally attacking your mental, like fucking you up in your
Mm-hmm.
mind, like, you know what I'm saying? That's enough for someone to say, I don't want to be here no more. Um, for someone to be like, I gotta go drink alcohol to escape someone just tearing me down, you know, verbally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know why people think that, like, saying ignorant things to people or trying to purposely hurt people by with words can't affect them mentally, because it straight attacks that, you know. And it's like, if your mental is not okay, how are you gonna get up and go to work? How are you gonna get up and function? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, to
Yeah.
me personally, your mental has to be stronger than anything in your entire body. Because if your mental ain't strong, how you gonna get up and go to the gym? Like, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna get up and take care of your kids, get up and cook and clean, you know? So I think a verbal abusive is like extremely dangerous, and it's just as harmful as a physical abusive relationship, you know?
Yeah, it tears you down from the inside out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can beat somebody and their mind is still strong. They may be just too scared to walk away because
Right.
of what they think may happen. But when you tear somebody from the inside out, now your mind is in control of your body, and your body's not going to do nothing without your mind.
Right.
So if your mind thinks, we ain't shit, we ain't gonna be shit, he told us we ain't, nobody's ever gonna love us the way he loves us,
Right.
and you're sitting there going, well, I gotta suffer through this because this is the best I'm ever gonna get.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And you're right. Your body will start to shut down if your mind can't keep up.
Yeah. Um. So my other question is, how can someone find value in themselves when someone tries to invalidate them? Um. Yeah. Like how can someone and have you ever experienced like someone trying to invalidate you, like, you know, verbally, like, you know?
I've definitely dealt with women who, well, one or two, who would basically try to, for example, you're not the guy, you're not the kind of guy I normally like. I don't like light skinned guys.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Go find a light skinned guy. What the fuck are you with me for? But um, it's because I had enough of my own self confidence to say, you know what, I don't have to deal with that.
Right.
And honestly, when someone tries to invalidate you, you have to look in the mirror. And as long as you're comfortable with who you see in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
that's your validation. We have to stop looking for validation outside of ourselves.
Right.
We really have to start saying, I am who I am, and I love who I am.
Right.
That's why when women got on like the big self-care kick, and they really started taking care of themselves, not because of what they wanted men to see, but because of what they wanted themselves to see.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that whole movement for y'all. I was like, yo, women got on like a real, like, you know what? I'm gonna take a self-care Friday every Friday. And women was just taking care of themselves, but not for the fact that I'm going to the club tonight, so I got to get dolled up.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so, I have to live with me for the next week. So I want to be comfortable with who I'm living with for the next week. And women would go to the gym. They would go get their nails done, their hair done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the shift that a lot of guys weren't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
When women started taking care of themselves for them.
Yeah.
And not for, because guys have been doing it for a long time. Guys
Mm-hmm.
would go work out at the gym. They would go, you know what I'm saying, take care of themselves. And it was only for them.
Mm-hmm.
When women made that shift, guys was like, wait a minute. Wait, so you're not doing this for me?
Yeah.
No. Married women
Mm-hmm.
were on a self-care kick, and their husband was like, oh my God, you look good. You did this for me. And you're like, no, I did this for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did it so that I feel good. So just, I will tell any woman or any man for that matter, if you ever feel like someone's trying to invalidate you, look in the mirror. And if you're not happy with who you are, fix who you are for you, but leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because a good person in your life, they're gonna find the good values in you, and they're gonna try to elevate that. They're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna talk about anything wrong with you. They're just gonna talk about how good of a person you are, how beautiful you look in your dress. Oh my God, you got your hair done today. You look great.
Mm-hmm.
But if they try to invalidate you, let them go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know a young lady who she went and got the whole BBL, tummy tuck, all of that stuff done. She never fixed her insides, but that's besides the point. She went and got all this done, and she felt like her husband would be super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband's friends would be like, damn, like your girl got all this stuff done, like she looked great. And he'd be like, oh yeah, she ain't shit still. Because he can't accept the fact that she did something and she's now getting attention.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, like I said, she never fixed her insides, so I don't care how much you do to your body. I don't care if a guy goes to the gym every single day of the week and he lifts weights and he's looking great and his body's fit. If you a piece of shit inside, it don't matter what you do on the outside.
Yeah.
Take care of your inside first.
Yeah.
But and if you take care of your inside, I don't care what nobody says to you. It's never going to invalidate you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You standing 10 toes down when I'm great.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I think but I think it's the same thing. I swear I feel like we be having the same conversations, but it's like
over and over again.
it's like healing, like it's like taking
Hmm.
care of your body, mind, and soul. It's knowing who you are, like you said, not seeking validation from an outside source. You know, knowing that like even if you're gonna have people that don't like you, but I feel like people who's for you, whether it's relationship, friends, or whoever, like those are the people that's for you, and the ones that don't like you for whatever reason, they just not your people. um but I feel like we live in a world that people project, and I feel like at every given moment, people want to feel like they one up on you, like, oh, I'm better
Hmm.
than you. I got this and you don't got that, like, and I feel like a lot of people try to invalidate people. I feel like sometimes people will, boast about the things they've done, but at the same time talk down on people, that haven't done what they've done, I guess to make themselves feel better. Like,
Yeah.
other people down just to make themselves feel better. Um, but I like, I really believe that like if people take the time to truly heal and learn yourself, no one can tell you
Hmm.
about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have flaws. Like I know what my flaws are. I'm pretty sure. If you like people so focused on like, oh, let me get on Instagram and I'm watching them and watch yourself. Learn
Right.
yourself more than you learn anybody on this earth. You'll know
Yeah.
what your triggers are. You know the things that you lack in, the things you need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody can tell me about me. I know what I need to work on. I know where I struggle and I know where my strengths are. But I think some people don't spend that time, to really heal body, mind, and soul, like get your mental right, like, and take it seriously, with
Yeah.
the mental health. Like if you know that your mental ain't right and you're not strong minded, go to therapy. Put the substances down for a second. I'm not telling you
Hmm.
have fun, but if you know your mental is not strong, put that shit down and get your fucking mind
Get
right.
yourself together.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like how the
Get
hell
yourself together first.
how you gonna mentally get right if you literally like using a substance like to escape your reality or whatever.
To escape your flaws, to escape you.
That
Now you're
that
escaping, trying to escape you.
exactly.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah,
I'll be right
face
back.
you could face the things that I feel like even the things that you're ashamed of, like within yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive other people. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like shouldn't nobody know you more than you know yourself. I feel like people should stop really being scared to live in their truth. Because I feel like when you live in your truth and you speak your truth, I really don't care what anyone got to say because I probably already told you. Like I know who I am. So it's like by you repeating it to me, trying to use it to put me down, you're telling me something that I already know. And I think that's what come with people who, when you speak and living your truth. Um,
And I think that the worst thing you could try to do, I'm back, y'all. I think the worst thing you could try to do is try to escape who you think you are.
yeah, and put
Like,
up aside what you care about what other people think. Like, why do you care about? Like, I promise you, I'm really at an age where I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I do not give a shit. Like shit that I like care so much about even 5 years ago, I don't give a flying fuck. Like I know exactly
right.
who I am. Like even if I went to the gym and I'm looking a little rough, bitch, I don't care because I know when I step out, I put that shit on. Like I don't give a fuck what you think. Like I don't care. But I think too many people literally, like you said, seek validation from like outside, and you wondering why you so goddamn miserable, and your mental ain't right, and you can't fix the things about yourself because you so worried about putting on this false ass image to what the world, what it look like to the world, um
And like we were saying, like so many people have been beat up by the world and they've never recovered.
yeah,
And since they've never recovered, they will do everything in their power to escape who they've now been told they are.
yeah,
Even though they're not really that person, that's who they've been told that they are. So now they're doing drugs. They they putting their body out there to people who don't deserve it
yeah,
because they don't feel like they don't feel like they deserve anything better. Like they're to themselves now, they ain't
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like I think I think when I stopped really like caring about what people thought about me, because I came to terms, I'm like, and not to think like I don't think I'm better than no one, but I'm like, God really blessed me with certain things that everybody isn't blessed to have. And so therefore we're not the same. So you can't tell me
Right.
shit about myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not me and I'm not you. And I think if people focus on those things, like the gifts that God give you, focus on getting your mental right, studying yourself, learning yourself, becoming more self-aware, then no one can tell you about yourself. And speak your truth too. Because people don't
Mm-hmm.
realize like speaking your truth is actually a part of healing. Like saying it out loud. You know, I think it'd be crazy how like even online, so many women, like Aisha Carey and Jada Pinkett, they get all this backlash because they go on these platforms and let people tell it. They're like, oh, you're telling your personal business. I get it, but like telling somebody personal business, be like, yeah, my man's dick is a little, but I still love him. You know what I'm saying? But like these women be really like speaking their truth because it's a part of their healing. And then they're getting like all this backlash because you're just speaking your truth. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that when you speak your truth, when you put it out there to the world, that's a part of you healing. When you go to therapy, right, Don? And your therapist is asking you about your childhood, and this, you notice that when you speak about it, you start to heal from it. So you
Yeah.
have to say those things out loud. You know what I'm saying? um and then like once it's out there, even if it don't matter what it is, like even if I be like, oh, I fell down a flight of steps, if I told you I fell down a flight of steps, and then me and you get into an argument, you like, well, Bridget, that's why you fell down a fucking flight of steps last week or something. I'm like, okay, I told you that.
I already told you that, right?
You think that's hurting me? You feel me? And the thing is, I noticed that sometimes when people try to attack you, especially like verbally and stuff like that, they'll try to use the things that they know about you to try to put you down. But if you speaking your truth, you living your truth, that's just flying over my head. You think I give a fuck? I literally told you that. I wouldn't have,
Right.
if
I
it was
told you
such a
that.
secret, if it was so fucking bad, if I was so ashamed of myself, I would have never told you. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's also when it comes to what we was talking about earlier, like the not putting on a facade to my family and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather not put on a facade. I'd rather like keep it 1,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's my truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I no one's ever gonna use that against me. Like, oh, you was faking like you was being happy, and you got married to this motherfucker who really ain't shit. Like, like you're no one's gonna do that against me because like, I'm gonna be real about shit. Like,
Yeah. Like you have to be honest with who you are and living in your truth. And which became a big thing, I guess people finally became aware of the fact that you have your own truth. It was around 2020, 2019, 2020.
mm-hmm,
Um, and people started actually saying, well, I'm going to actually be who I am. I know a lady who lived in everybody else's truth for 40 years.
Mm.
And she finally decided to be just who she was. Like, she's gay. Yes, you're gay. That doesn't mean that you need a man to be on your arm to show everybody else that you're not gay. If
Right.
you're gay, you're gay. Like, that's who you are.
Right.
Um, and it took 40 years for her to finally go. 40 years and a bunch of failed relationships. Because you're in a relationship with somebody you don't want to be with.
Right.
Like, you're in a relationship with men and you don't want to be in a relationship with men.
Right.
So she finally lived in her truth. Now, whether or not she's happy, I don't know. But at least, at the very least, she's truthful to herself, who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even with that, like, you know, like the whole, you know, people being in a closet type thing, like, you know, and that's a part of being scared to live in your truth and speak your truth, you know. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like the day and age that we're in, it's like, okay, what are you scared of? Because people who you grew up with or whoever that you really don't give a fuck about, you care about what they got to say about you wanting to be in a relationship with the same sex. Why the fuck do you care? To me,
Right.
I think if you love somebody, whether it's the same sex or not, you should only really care. Just like, you know, you're married, right? I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure you only really care about like your wife and maybe your kids, you know what I'm saying? And God, like, you know, so outside of that, it's like, if you love somebody, if you love the same sex, why do you give a fuck what anybody else think? If you love that person, you should only care about what they think, what you think. You know what I'm saying? And not care, because the people that you sitting here worried about, like what they're gonna say about me, their time could be up tomorrow. They could be dead off this earth, and then, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, and then it's like, I think sometimes with that too, like not living in your truth with the whole, you know, being gay or whatever, like, it's like I don't know. I just feel like they be worried about what people think. And it's like, okay, what? You're going to come out, right? What's the worst that's going to happen by you admitting that you're gay? You're going to come
That's a
out.
very
People might whisper for us, oh my God, he's gay. He came out the closet. Oh, I knew he was gay, whatever. And then people going to forget about it. And then you're just going to be gay and you're going to be happy. And it is what it is. You know how many men I know that came out the closet? And yeah, at first when they came out the closet, it was a little shocking. Like, you know what I'm saying? People gonna fucking talk, but who don't talk? Everybody talk. It don't even gotta be about you being gay. You could be fucking broke, or you could be have this type. She work at McDonald's. Everybody gonna have something fucking negative to say about you, no matter
Yep.
what. It don't matter if you're gay, if they judge you off your job, whatever. Who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? But if you okay with that, then people ain't got shit. What the fuck are they gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. They can't harbor on something that you're okay with.
and that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, okay, they're gonna talk for a second, then you're gonna go and live your life happily, exactly how you choose to live your life, how you want to live your life. I know men that came out the closet, and yeah, at first you had some people talking, and now it's an afterthought. You see them and
Right.
they're a person, and whoever they choose to deal with in their sexual life is who they choose to deal with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not like, oh my God, like, you think the whole world for the rest of your life is just gonna be mad at you because you choose to be gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I don't want to just speak on the gay shit, but I'm just speaking in general, like, with living in your truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Why? I don't give a fuck. I have to really care about you for me to care what you think about me. And really, it's nobody. I think the only person I truly care about, like, is God. That's the only person I personally, for my life, I truly want to please. Is nobody else on
Right.
this earth that I'm like living my life for. Nobody.
Like, I have so many people around me who could give a shit less. Like, as long as I'm happy, they happy for me.
Yeah.
And even with them, they'll throw it, like they throw jokes or whatever. Like, I like a thicker woman.
Mm-hmm.
My family has had that joke for me for years, and I'm
Yeah.
like, y'all, I'm not looking for y'all to make me happy. I'm happy with who I'm with, and
Right.
like that's what I like.
Yeah.
Um, but it you once you remove the stigmatism, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
they can't come at you for it.
Right.
Um, and I know a homeboy of mine that I grew up with, went to school with, thick as thieves. Never knew he was gay. I don't
Mm.
think he knew he was gay,
Yeah.
but he had the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into him 10, 20 years later, and he was like, yo, this is my husband. And I'm like, word? And like you said, it's that initial shock. Oh shit, damn. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
you gay, son? But after that, it was just like, you happy? You happy. Like
You don't care because I feel like people, most people, you go home and you focus on your own life, your own happiness.
right.
Like, you're not worried about, damn, is he getting bent over right now? Like, you not
Right. Nobody's thinking about that.
nobody's thinking about you. And yeah, like, so people need to stop caring about what people think and also thinking that you just living rent free in everybody's head. Cause I guarantee you're not. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
that's another big thing. Another Stop letting people live rent free in your head because they're not thinking about you.
right.
You're wondering, what do they think about this? What do they think about that? I said this. How did they take this? They literally walked away from you and never gave it a second thought.
Yeah.
And now they're sitting there swimming around in your head, and you're trying to fix things for them that they're not thinking about.
Right. Right. Right.
Think about that shit.
Yeah.
Think about the fact that we will literally walk around trying to please people that aren't thinking about us.
Yeah. Yeah. At all. At all. That's why it's like you got to you gotta live in your truth. You gotta learn yourself. You gotta try to please yourself, please God, like the people that you truly love. Um, because to me, you will never ever be fulfilled if you're going off of other people's validation. Because you're never
Facts.
perfect. You're never. People will always find something wrong with you.
And I think we talked about that before, how even if you're doing good,
Yeah.
even if you are doing good, people are going to find a way to talk about you.
Yep.
She thinks she all that. She doing all that good.
I take that shit as see, and I ain't gonna lie. I think that's the best thing that ever happened to me. In my life, people have fucking hated me, men, women. People couldn't stand me my whole life. I love that shit. I'm grateful for that shit because you know how
It's
they be like,
fuel.
you know what they say. You gotta have thick skin. Like now, I'm not gonna say I am a little sensitive. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little sensitive when it comes to certain. But if I know someone don't like me, oh, I really do. Okay, thank you. Like that shit is like
Mm-hmm.
a compliment. Like I
Hell
don't
yeah.
about that. Now I'm not gonna say like somebody like coming for me or something like that. I'm not gonna say I won't be a little sensitive, but is this if am I losing sleep because this bitch don't like me or she mad because you think you the shit, girl? Bye. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm not losing sleep for nobody, no woman or man. Honestly,
And
like
I've had people when I was at probably one of my lowest points in my life. I've had people jealous of me. I'm like, what the fuck are you jealous of me for? Like
mhm,
I'm just trying to survive today. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
But because I didn't wear what I didn't have the appearance of what I was going through.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Facts. My mom always said that shit too. Like people because you don't look like what you going through. And it don't mean
Mm-hmm.
going through the fucking storm, you know, and people just mad at that. But again, this all goes back to our topic is stop focusing on other people and worry about your fucking self. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Taking all this energy to be like, oh, he got married and he went on this trip and they went there and they did this and they just got married and da da. Well, bitch, if you would focus on self improving your life and focusing
Maybe you
on the
do the
areas
same.
that you lack in, then maybe your ass has something too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop fucking worrying about everybody else and worry about yourself. Get yourself right. If you mad because this person got all this lavish things, focus on how the fuck you gonna get some money so you can have some nice things. You know, like, you mad because, oh, they're happy and they're in a healthy relationship. Motherfucker, take care of your mental health so that you can be happy within yourself and abstain a healthy relationship, you know? But yeah, I think that's the whole thing with the topic. Like, people need to, you know, focus on themselves.
Yeah, you got to focus inward. And I don't think we, especially our culture, we don't do it enough. We either talk about how bad somebody else is doing, how good somebody else is doing, and they think they're better than me, instead of just looking at how do you fix you.
Right.
You know, how do I fix myself to the point where I'm so pleased about myself, I can give a shit less what anybody else is going through.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like, hating on the next person is not going to. It's not going to help you accomplish. That's like if I was to be like, that bitch went and got a BBL. That's not going to get me in shape, Bridget. You got to take your ass to the gym. You want to get in shape without a BBL? Go take your ass to the gym. You feel me? But me being mad because bitches just go instantly get these results. That's not going to get me the damn results. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't know.
You're right. And a lot of women do sit there and go, oh my God, her ass is fake. Or do you think her ass is fake? What about your ass? How's your ass? Is it good? You like your ass? Then we're good. Like,
Right.
but if you looking at her ass thinking it's gonna make your ass look better, it's never gonna happen.
Right.
It's just not.
And the same thing with, like, you know, how people see people with nice cars and houses and, you know, traveling and having nice things, like, you know, like, you know, first of all, a lot of people be out here fronting, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit is a facade. And again, by you just being focused and mad on what everybody else got, is not gonna help you obtain those things. You know, the best thing you can do is stay in your own lane and have tunnel vision, you know, to your own goals.
Yeah.
So, like, look at why, if you're just so focused on everybody else, you gonna look back and be like, wait, where'd the time go? I didn't get to accomplish shit because you just so worried about what everybody else is doing.
So busy focusing on everybody else's success, they're becoming successful, and you're staying stagnant.
Right.
Just because you focused on what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do better, y'all. We really are. And I know somehow or another we end up coming back to this subject over and over again. But I think it's because it's that important. We're watching people sabotage themselves because they feel like they're not as good as somebody else.
Right.
And they're just not looking inward. We gotta look inward, y'all. We gotta do better. 26 is around the corner, y'all. And you know, we always say new year, new me, but we still somehow end up being the same damn person.
Yeah.
Change you for you.
Yeah, and I think people should start prioritizing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you do got. I feel like I struggle with that too. Sometimes you try to be everything to everybody that you don't have the time to focus on yourself, and like, you should always, you know, come first, you know, in your life. So I feel like, especially going into the new year, prioritize yourself. Like, stop saying yes to everybody else, but no to yourself. You know, like, if you know I need, why am I saying yes to doing what you want me to do when I know that it should be a no because of what I'm trying to do for myself? You know what I'm saying? So I really think people should prioritize themselves in all aspects.
So we this is our we got 2 shows for the month, and then we're taking a break, y'all. We because we need to focus on our mental as well. So last 2 weeks of the month, we will be off the air, but we ain't going nowhere, y'all. We will be back 2026, bigger, better, and stronger. So please stay around. This show is only going to get more exciting. We got people who are wanting to actually come on the show and show you all different things. And we have a financial advisor that's going to be coming on the show in 26. We have a makeup artist who's going to come on the show in 26. For the ladies who just want to know what makeup to buy and what's not going to mess up your skin, she's going to talk about all of that. So stay tuned, hang out with us. 26 is going to be big, but we got one more week with y'all before we take a break. So next week, we promise to give y'all the best end of the year show we possibly can. Until then, it's all love, people. Get some sleep, y'all. Later.
This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Dawn. Please like, subscribe, and share.